Basketball is full of legends, iconic moments, and unforgettable plays. But hidden behind the highlights and championships are stories so unbelievable, so rare, and so shocking that most fans have never heard them until now. These aren't rumors or myths. These are real NBA stories, from players born with mirrored organs, to teams that survived near-death disasters, to moments that shock the entire basketball world. Some of these stories happened behind closed doors, others unfolded live on air, and a few changed lives forever, far beyond the court. Today, we're counting down 7 true NBA stories that sound like fiction but actually happened. Stories about survival, controversy, courage, and resilience. Stories that prove the NBA is more than just basketball. Make sure you watch until the end, because the final story might completely change how you think about success, pressure, and walking away from the game. Story 1. The Lakers plane crash that wasn't. The 17th of January 1960, the Minneapolis Lakers were flying home in a converted World War II cargo plane through a brutal snowstorm. Mid-flight, disaster struck. The plane lost its lights, radio, and compass. Visibility vanished. Fuel dropped dangerously low. The pilots had no way to communicate and no idea where they were. At 1:30 inches the morning, with disaster moments away, the pilots spotted the faint glow of a tiny town in Iowa. With no runway, they landed the plane in a cornfield, skidding across frozen ground. Miraculously, all 23 people survived. Among them were future NBA legends like Elgin Baylor and Hot Rod Hundley. One wrong decision, and the NBA could have lost an entire team before the league truly began. There were no headlines back then, no viral clips, just quiet survival. Today, this remains one of the most chilling what-if moments in NBA history, a reminder that the league's legacy almost ended before it truly started. Story 2. Randy Foy's Mirrored Organs. Randy Foy played his entire NBA career with something incredibly rare. His organs were reversed, his heart was on the right side, his liver on the left, a condition known as situs inversus totalis, found in only 1 out of every 10,000 people. Even more shocking, Foy didn't know until he was 9 years old, when doctors discovered it during treatment for pneumonia. For most people, a condition like this can cause serious health complications. But for Foy, it never slowed him down. He went on to play 11 seasons in the NBA, carving out a solid career known for durability, stamina, and toughness. Coaches joked that he could run forever, and unknowingly, he was doing it with a body wired completely differently. Despite his biological uniqueness, Foy never used it as an excuse or a headline. Most fans never knew. He simply showed up, worked hard, and competed at the highest level. Imagine being rare not just in skill, but in biology itself. Randy Foy wasn't just an NBA player. He was a medical anomaly who quietly proved that limitations don't always limit greatness. Story 3. Brian Grant's battle with Parkinson's. Brian Grant was known for grit, toughness, and relentless effort. Over 12 NBA seasons, he built a reputation as a warrior on the court. But after retiring, he faced an opponent no training could defeat. At just 36 years old, Grant was diagnosed with early-onset Parkinson's disease. The signs had been there: subtle tremors, legs losing bounce, shots that felt automatic suddenly missing. He blamed stress, fatigue, anything but the truth. Parkinson's doesn't respond to work ethic. It's invisible, exhausting, and relentless. For Grant, the transition from dominating on hardwood to battling his own body was devastating. Depression followed. Everyday tasks became difficult. Yet Grant never quit. Instead, he became an advocate, raising awareness and inspiring others facing similar battles. His strength shifted from physical dominance to mental resilience. His story reminds us that NBA players are human first, and sometimes the toughest battles happen long after the final buzzer. Story 5. Kevin Garnett's unretired jersey. Kevin Garnett is the Minnesota Timberwolves MVP, franchise icon, the heart, the fire, and the soul of the team for over a decade. KG didn't just play for Minnesota, he was Minnesota basketball. And yet, there's something missing inside Target Center. His iconic number 21 jersey has never been retired, not because he didn't earn it, but because he refused the honor After his playing days, Garnett believed he'd return to the Timberwolves organization in a leadership role, working alongside coach Flip Saunders, the person he trusted most. But when Saunders tragically passed away, those promises quietly disappeared. KG felt betrayed by then-owner Glenn Taylor, and so Garnett made a powerful stand. No ceremony, no banner, no recognition. For KG, this wasn't about ego, it was about principle. He believed respect mattered more than applause, and loyalty mattered more than legacy honors. Years passed, and the rafters remained empty. But now, with new ownership taking control of the Timberwolves, that long-standing barrier may finally be gone. Fans believe the moment is coming when number 21 will finally rise where it belongs. And when it does, it won't just honor an all-time great career. It will honor integrity, loyalty, and a man who never compromised his values. Story 4, David Stern's infamous question. David Stern was one of the most powerful commissioners in sports history. Calculated, sharp, unapologetic. But in 2012, during a live radio interview, Stern delivered a moment so shocking it instantly became NBA lore. The setting? The Jim Rome Show. Rome questioned the NBA lottery, suggesting the league may have manipulated results while owning the New Orleans Hornets. Stern didn't like the implication, his patience snapped. And then he said it. Have you stopped beating your wife yet? A loaded question, one with no right answer. One that stunned listeners in real time. The remark exploded across sports media. Critics called it inappropriate and reckless. Supporters argued Stern was making a point about unfair accusations. Either way, the damage was done. Rome pushed back, calling out the implication. Stern doubled down, mocking him, before abruptly ending the interview. For a commissioner known for control and authority, this moment showed something else: how quickly power, pride, and pressure can collide on live air. The quote still circulates today, not because it defined Stern's career, but because it proved that even the most powerful figures can lose control in a single sentence. One question. One moment, an NBA media controversy that will never be forgotten. Story 6, Jimmy Butler's unlikely rise. Jimmy Butler's NBA story doesn't start in a gym. It starts with survival. At just 13 years old, Jimmy Butler was kicked out of his home. No backup plan, no safety net. He bounced between friends' couches, never staying long enough to feel secure. Basketball wasn't a dream yet, it was an escape. Eventually, one family took him in, not because he was a future NBA star, but because he needed help. That stability changed everything. But even then, nothing came easy. Jimmy wasn't a high school superstar. He received 0 Division I scholarship offers. He started at junior college, grinding every day, betting on himself when no one else would. When Marquette finally offered him a chance, Butler committed in the most unlikely way possible, faxing his letter of intent from a McDonald's. He had never even visited the campus. No hype, no guarantees, just belief. Today, Jimmy Butler is known for his toughness, leadership, and relentless mentality. Every dive for a loose ball, every clutch moment, it all traces back to a kid who refused to quit when life pushed him out. This isn't just an NBA success story. It's proof that grit can rewrite destiny. Which story shocked you the most? Comment below and subscribe for more NBA stories you won't believe actually happened.